Everything must change. Oh, nothing stays the same. Everything must change. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life that we can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds do fly, winter turns to spring, a wounded heart will heal. But never much too soon. Everything must change. The young become the old. Mysteries do unfold. But that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life that lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Everything must change. Everything must change. Good afternoon, everyone's. Good afternoon to everyone's. And I do mean that in the strictest sense. Good afternoon to everyone's. This is Johnny Mac 365 coming to you from the state of Virginia. Good afternoon. I thank all of you who are in the chat at this particular time. I'm just trying a little bit of an experiment to see if this live works, because I've been having a little trouble with doing my lives. Diving for depth is always a pleasure. Good afternoon, allegedly. Good afternoon. I'm probably going to, oh no, I'm not going to mispronounce it. Monk Chip, 2324. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming by. Only being great. Thank you. Madeline Jones, thank you. Food Junkie, what's up? Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Now, like I said, I was trying an experiment to see, because I've been having trouble with doing my live and all that kind of stuff. But again, I thank you all for coming in, to my subscribers and to my new subscribers. I appreciate every one of you. Your comments, I appreciate them. To all the content creators that are in this live, I pay homage to you, and I say thank you for your sharing. Amen. Satin, how are you? And to all of the content creators that have contributed to my growth, I appreciate you very much. Now, let me get down to the nitty gritty. I haven't been on because of some things that have happened in my personal life that I needed to pay close attention to. Emergency family situation. And again, first let me testify and report victory over the situation. My mom is now in rehab. Thank God that she's pulled through being put into a coma and brought out, and She is progressing quite fast. She is a strong woman, has always been a strong woman, and nothing has been able to really ever keep her down. So I am grateful to God for his purpose and for his will being done. And to all of you that have sent up prayers and well wishes, I really appreciate you because, again, you all gave me the strength to keep moving and to keep going and not internalize the things that was going on and allow it to make me depressed. Not that I get depressed that much, but anyway, I appreciate all of you. Honey, how are you? Des C, good afternoon. I appreciate you dropping in. Now, the reason why I sang that particular song at the beginning of this chat, it is because not being on here, steadily for a while and just peeking in, hiding out in the bushes or watching from the bushes or watching from the skybox. I'm seeing that so much has changed since I've been on. Alliances have been broken, friendships have been broken up, and it is really amazing to me how a person can say that I love you and then totally try to cut your throat. And see, today, these people are not stabbing you in the back, they're stabbing you directly in the chest while they're looking at you and smiling in your face. Pandy's hair, good afternoon. How are you? Yes. Zionia, good afternoon. Thank you for coming in. Eddie Peeler, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. Everybody, you're welcome. Now, I am noticing that these people are ruthless. I mean, I love you one minute, and then the next minute I'm calling you all kinds of names as if I've never had anything in common with you. I've never had a YouTube ship, so to speak. And I mean, total opposite of what they were saying just a couple of weeks ago. I found it disheartening to the point where, again, I have to use this disclaimer, if you will, and it has become one of my favorite sayings. I do not, I do not get disappointed because I have no unreal expectations. Holly Q, good afternoon. Honey, thank you for coming in. JL, good afternoon and welcome. I don't have any unreal expectation. No unreal expectation. So in having no real expectation, I'm not disappointed at the behaviors when people change. My subscribership is very, very important because being linked to time get caught up in the madness that we don't really see what's really going on, and we miss certain flags that go up with certain people's behavior as they lose control or as they're having these breakdowns. And I hear people saying, this is YouTube, this is not real life. In my observation, I am seeing these people who are merging their YouTube persona and their real life together. And it is causing not just a breakdown, but a devastating fall. And they're not noticing it in themselves. They're not, and I'm seeing how people are looking into mirrors and only seeing what they want to see and not seeing what they want to see, which is not real. And the real reflection they're discarding. It reminds me of the story of, I think it was Snow White, whose stepmother would always look in the mirror and say, who is the fairest of them all? And the mirror was actually telling her what she wanted to hear. However, when the mirror became a little more aware and began to tell her the very. Some of us really need to create a line or a line that we don't cross with YouTube and with our personal lives. It's becoming it really is becoming it's becoming, for me, it's becoming, wow, for real, really. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that the hinges are falling off a lot of lives. I'm all I can say is wow. Just wow. Fee O'Brien, welcome. Good afternoon. This too much? I like that name. This too much. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for dropping in. Mo, good afternoon. Greetings to you. Greetings to you. Ali Black, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I appreciate you guys coming in. I'm really, I can't say that I'm surprised, but it is a learning experience, a learning moment. And those of us who have emotional intelligence and common sense, this is a learning for us. It is a learning for us. It really is. I watched a video a few minutes ago because I see certain people are back on the scene. And the way they are coming out, I'm like, so what you're telling me is that you always felt this way. You always felt this way. You just played a game, or you created a character on stage, which is not the real you. And the thing about doing that and not being a professional actor, and even being a professional actor, sometimes they have therapists on hand because certain characters can be so dark until you lose yourself. I think that a lot of people have lost themselves in their personas and in the characters that they are portraying on YouTube. Okay, a lot of them have lost touch with reality and what they are imagining in their minds and whatnot, that this particular character should be or should do. They are lost in that, and they have no direction whatsoever. So they're pulling at straws. However, the damage that you are doing to yourself is so very unfortunate. You know, I'm reminded of The Color Purple when Whoopi Goldberg's character, Miss Celie, said, "Whatever you do to me, you've already done to yourself." And I have always felt that way. You cannot disrespect me without first disrespecting yourself. You think it's cute. You think it's getting you popularity. However, the end result is that you're empty, you're lost, and you don't know your way back. You can't find your way back without help. It is remarkable when you listen to certain videos, when you watch certain videos, how these people are so intense. And to me, when you're that intense, you have lost some hold on reality, because these things are directed at people that you do not know. You don't know these people. You haven't had an intimate relationship. And some people in the back may not understand what an intimate relationship is. An intimate relationship is not a relationship of sex. It is where we converse, where we are in each other's presence to learn each other. It is going through different situations with each other and sharing with each other where we learn each other. An intimate relationship, knowing you beyond the surface. Knowing you beyond the surface, knowing the deep of you, the deeper of you, the inside of you, how you think, how you feel. So I'm seeing them lose so much of themselves, and it's concerning. However, I think that everyone has their point in life where they learn or where they come together, or not, or in one way or the other, because either you are going to run yourself completely off the cliff, or you're going to catch yourself at some point and get yourself back on point. And again, I have a problem or an issue with a person that is always talking about what they have in order to put someone what you want me or who you want me to believe you are, because you have Gucci, because you have money, because you have a fabulous job. However, who you are is who you are without all of that. I used to think that an educated person or a professional person was not ratchet. Can you believe that? I used to think that a doctor, a lawyer, all these an executive was not, especially. Let me define that a little bit. My people, black people, I thought that with education and with experience and with success came a different mentality. However, I'm finding that these same people were ratchet before they got a career and did not trade in their ratchetness, but they kept their ratchetness, and they're just as ratchet or even more ratchet now that they have a career, they have money, they have a beautiful home, and all this kind of stuff. It is amazing. It's just simply, to put it simple, it's amazing. And then I go back to, wow. They don't have the tools to do the work that needs to be done to realign their lives. And they're in this cloud thinking that they're living. But when I listen to you, I hear your misery, I hear your pain. Why? Because you're projecting everything that you feel about yourself onto other people. It's amazing. Human nature can be very amazing. It is, oh my gosh, it is fascinating. It is fascinating to watch people do what they do, and they think that they're hurting the person they're going after. However, most of the damage that you are doing is being done to you. And it's evident in every relationship. T.S. Madison says you have to watch a person who can't keep friends. You have to be leery of the person who cannot keep friends, who cannot have mature relationships. I watch certain individuals behave. They say they're grown and they're a grown individual, but they behave like kindergarten students that wanted a toy that somebody else was playing with, and they throw a temper tantrum because that individual is playing with the toy. It is amazing. It is amazing. And they take everything personal. Now, I basically didn't want to mention names in this live, but I'm going to mention one name. I've watched Tracy. I've been a subscriber of Tracy from day one. Okay? Now, I've watched how she has developed her news, how she does the YouTube news. It is remarkable to me how people feel that because we are in a YouTube ship or we know each other, that when you do crazy stuff, that is not going to be reported on. And the thing is, the stuff is not done behind closed doors. It's done in public online. So when it's spoke on, you get your panties in a bunch, and now you forget all the relationship you had up until that point. Well, and then you really don't, because the relationship that you say you have in public, your behavior speaks of something different. It speaks the total opposite. It speaks that I never really liked you. And then you say, I used to love you. How do you turn love on and off like a light switch? Because I don't agree with something, or I don't favor something you said about me, that not that you made up, that I did. And this goes not just for Tracy, but this goes with anybody that comments on anything. How do we totally turn when you did what you did in public for everybody to see, and I speak on it, and you want to get angry with me and come for me and say that I never cared for you? How do you misinterpret when I'm concerned about you, and I say I'm concerned about you, and you make it that I'm coming for you? All I can say is wow. Wow, wow, wow. Really, really wow. Vaughn G, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Why bother? It is so good to see you. Shantastic. Greetings, love. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Queen Lewis, thank you for dropping in. It's good to see you too. Very good to see you all. It is remarkable to me. It is so remarkable to me how people just don't think. They just don't think. And I agree with you, Fee. I agree. They never liked you. They never liked you. They just they just hitched their wagon to you until, or just to get through, until you do something that they feel that they don't like. And then they unhitch their wagon and they go completely berserk and really think that this is what YouTube is supposed to be all about. The darkness. And you talk about darkness, but you don't realize that you're in the dark. Now, there is a song from Dreamgirls, and in one specific passage of the song, it says, walking down that long road, there was nothing I could find. So many years of walking in darkness can make a person blind. So when you are in darkness for a long time, believe me, beloveds, you become blind. You cannot see yourself. Not that you want to see yourself, because most of the time you are comfortable in that particular place that you are. You are comfortable there. You are comfortable there. So you can't help but be blind. And then when somebody reaches in to help you come out of it, you take it up as a personal attack. So it lets me know that although you are saying to me that you are intelligent, that you are strong, and that you are well read. It lets me know that you may have the books on your shelf, but you're not well read because you don't practice anything that you've read. You haven't practiced what you read. Um, Only being great. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Did Tracy for something or what that's supposed to be do? No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. Please do not misunderstand what I am saying. Okay, let me clear that up. Tracy did nothing to me. Tracy did nothing that I saw as wrong. Okay, let's clear that up because I don't want anybody walking out of this live with the wrong information or hearing something that I'm not saying. Okay, Tracy did nothing to me. Well, let me put it this way. Tracy has always been a positive influence since I have been on YouTube. She has always been positive and reached out to give me a hand. Now, however, should I make it to the YouTube news by Tracy, I'm good with that. I'm good with that because I respect Tracy, I adore Tracy, and that is real. That is real. And I'm a little passionate, so please don't take this moment as I'm coming for you because I'm not. No, I'm speaking of Tracy in a positive light. Tracy has developed the YouTube news. And I enjoy when I watch Tracy. I enjoy it because it has all the elements of a good time. However, what I am saying is that people have gotten their feathers ruffled that have claimed to have a YouTube ship with Tracy and have claimed to say that they love Tracy. And when they make the news, it is different than when somebody else makes the news. When other people make the news, it's okay. But when you do something stupid and make the news, you want to go off at Tracy for reporting it when you did it online for everybody to see. And everybody else is talking about it. So what's the difference? That's what I'm saying. I love Tracy. I enjoy Tracy. I respect Tracy. And if Tracy and I have an issue, then what I will do is I will email Tracy the issue that I have and take care of it. Because sometimes we do hear things that we may feel some way and hear somebody say something and totally take it different than their intention. So I would reach out to Tracy first before I ever. You've never seen me on here try to come for anybody without. You've never seen me come for anybody. You've always seen me comment, do commentary from my observation. From my observation, I give my commentary. And I like to do other things other than talk about the mess that's going on in these YouTube streets. Public service announcements, like what I did with the medication. And I hope that what I did with the medication that black people are having issue with. I hope that people, I didn't check to see how many views it got, but I hope that people look at that and it motivates them to be more cognizant of what's being prescribed to you so that you don't take stuff that will kill you. Because lisinopril is a drug that is causing a lot of issues with black people. No, there's no problem. Uh, uh, um, Only being great. There's no problem with it. I just wanted to explain that so that, because again, if you don't understand something, it's best to, before going off and getting in your feelings, it's best. So I appreciate the fact that you said that so that it could be cleared up, because I don't have any beef with anybody on YouTube and don't expect to. However, let me say this, and I think I've said it before on Joyce's Live. I'm not looking to have beef on here. I'm coming here to enjoy what I do and to share. But if there has to be beef with me, there will be no beef, because I don't play like that. That's not how I get down. A lot of these people talk a lot of stuff. Um, I may be a very good orator, but there's some things that I just will not talk about. I will be about. And I know the church really doesn't like that kind of teaching. But y'all can say amen if you want to, because I like a lively church. I like the feedback. I'm not with this unnecessary beefing and getting into feelings and stuff like that. Because if you come at me out of pocket, I'm coming back on you swift, distinct, and I'm gonna do my best to do it in a deadly fashion so that you don't come back again. Doreen Bronx, good afternoon. Good to see you. Really good to see you. So I appreciate you getting it straight before you leave. I appreciate that. That's what you call an adult. That's what you call an adult. That you don't understand something and you ask questions. It is so easy to get answers when you ask questions. When you ask questions, it is so easy to get, an understanding. And I'm one of those people that whatever you get, out of everything you get, you ought to get an understanding. Hey, Tracy, how are you doing? I was just talking about you. I was just talking about you. And I appreciate, the fact that I could explain to, one of the individuals that was wondering if something happened between me and you, to let them know, no, there's nothing wrong with me and Tracy. And believe me, I'm not Phi Babe that's going to tell you there's nothing wrong with me and Tracy here. And then in less than 24 hours, I'm calling her all kinds of names and talking about stuff that I ain't got no business talking about nobody. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So I appreciate I appreciate being able to explain that. But getting back, I did digress. But getting back to the whole thing is that watching these people totally flip out is amazing. Like I said, I recap the fact that I have not been on here on a consistent basis for at least the last going on a week and a half. And coming back, I'm sort of kind of behind, trying to play catch up on what's been going on. And I'm finding, again, that some of these adults really do need, they really do need to go back and do their first work over. There were some lessons that they missed coming up, in their development, that it shows when they interact, especially on YouTube. I have, I have never seen some of the stuff and trust me, I've been some places. I've had some, as a matter of fact, I've had in my lifetime, I've had about three maybe 3 or 4 careers. And I've seen a lot of stuff, but I've never seen the stuff that I've seen on YouTube that people do that have no kind of consequences per se in protecting their career. No, I don't want to say consequences, but has nothing to do with their career or the advancement of their career. You know, I have to use the phrase, it amazes me the things that people do for nothing, for absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Personal attacks that are really unnecessary. Because I disagree with you, you want to come and make it a big issue. And then out of the same mouth, these same people say, we'll just agree to disagree. And we won't be disagreeable, but we'll agree to disagree. Yet the behavior is crazy. Good afternoon, Cynthia Jones. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's amazing. And, you know, Mo, and I get you, Mo. I get you. Hashtag adults. Yeah, we a lot of us call ourselves adults. However, maybe I think it's most of the time, it is chronologically, we are adults. But in the mentality, they're not. They're really not. They have stopped, again, where the trauma and the pain in their life, they have stopped at that child, because usually the trauma and the pain and the experience has happened to them when they were a child. And you have this adult body, this chronological adult that's considered adult by age. However, their mentality, that hurting child has not been dealt with. It has not been faced. So when things happen that resemble the action that caused them the pain and the what stunted their growth, they react out of that child and not out of the adult. What am I saying? They act in the emotion of that child and not in the intellect of the adult. When I was a child, I thought as a child, I spoke as a child. I did childish things because that's what's expected as a child. But when I became an adult, I put the toys in the attic. I left those childish things and I took the responsibility and I got the tools. I took the tools that I needed to work things out so that being an adult, I'm able to see things from an adult perspective. I'm able to see things from, or deal with things or handle things, not emotionally, even though sometimes, yes, we do get emotional. And I said before, you cannot think and feel at the same time. You're going to give in to either one or the other. Either you are going to feel or you're going to think. Now, when you see these people going off, you can hear where they're coming from. They're not coming from an intellectual standpoint. They're coming from an emotional standpoint. They're coming from an emotional standpoint. Because everything you hear them say is based upon how they feel. How they feel. You ugly so-and-so. You barren, your edges. I'm like, help me understand. Help me help you. I know there. Everybody uses the saying, "Make it make sense." But I'm not trying to say that because nonsense never makes sense. You cannot make nonsense make sense. No way you try. I don't care how you grease it up, how you shine it up, how you polish it up, how you mold it. Nonsense will never make sense. It will never make sense. So I don't try to have anybody make nonsense make sense to me because I see it what it is. And that's what I notice. It's not making sense because it is emotional. It is not thought through. Because somebody said something that I didn't agree with. And then what I've noticed that they do is rather than, and here's a big thing. Rather than paying attention to what's being said, they allow the voices in their heads to guide them into what is meant by what's being said. Now, one thing I always try to do, and my mentors in my life have, which I've been blasted for a lot of times, is that I want what I say to be totally explained because I don't want it to be misunderstood or misconstrued. That I'm saying one thing and meaning another. No, I'm saying what I mean and mean what I say. So when you hear these people, it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. However, I guess such is life. Such is life. They don't think things through. They feel it, and then they feel that they have to get it out, rather than taking a moment and processing and trying to understand, or even reaching out. Because sometimes in the middle of someone else's life, they may say something that you don't quite get, or you might misconstrue. There's nothing wrong with asking a person, what did you mean by that? What does that look like? And getting an understanding so that you don't walk away feeling like, I want to say feeling like an idiot, because usually when it's explained to you, when you finally get it, after you've gone off and did your rant and your rage, and you find out, because if you notice, some of these people, when they come back and apologize, when I'm looking at the apology, I'm like, I get the fact that you're apologizing. However, the way you crossed the line, the way you went viciously at the individual, yes, I will forgive you, but I'm not going to have anything to do with you because you are unstable. You don't listen. Then you don't ask questions to get clarity. It's important to get clarity. It's very important to get clarity. Because so often when we don't get clarity, we not only run off half-cocked, but then we spread a narrative that was not intended to be spread by the person that said what was said. And this is why I appreciate Only Being Great for making that statement in this live. Because if I had not caught that and explained myself, that could have started something that is basically unnecessary, first of all, and was not meant in the way that I don't know if that's a woman or a man. So Only Being Great, it would have started something that even Only Being Great didn't mean to start. But because this is what they thought they heard, they went and said something about it. And then again, if Only Being Great was in their feelings about what they thought I said and ran with it, again, it could have been problems. So my thing is to nip that in the bud. And I'm not saying anything negative about Only Being Great. What I am saying is I appreciate the fact that we could get that. And see, this is what I think that our lives should be about, especially when we say we have a safe place to come and express how you feel. If you're going to say that, then mean it. Mean it. Control your chat so that nobody leaves feeling some kind of way about something that you didn't say. And because I have had the experience of people hearing what they want to hear. And this is not directed to Only Being Great. This is just in general. People have a tendency to hear what they want to hear because they come in with a certain mentality or, a certain looking for, some people come into your chat looking for negativity to run back and start stuff about. I didn't get no amens in this church today, but I know I'm right. They come in with a certain mindset and they look for things. And this is why we have trolls. We have trolls because trolls like to hear stuff, take it out of context, or take one phrase out of context and run back and tell somebody else. And before you know it, there's a beef, which is unnecessary. And then rather than the individual trying to get it straight by coming to the source, they make a video going off on somebody else. And again, what they tend to do is they tend to try to go for the juggler. Hobby so never, as my grandmother would say, you have to be careful who you come for. Lady Beth Shua, Moshe, welcome. Thank you for being here. Well, and I agree with you. If common sense was common, everyone would have it. Not only is it a gift, but it is like a muscle that has to be worked with. And this is the reason why in growing up, I'm very glad that I was exposed to older people. I was very much around a lot of older people who had mother's wit, who had common sense. They may not have been Harvard or university graduated, but they had common sense. And common sense is not something that you pay for with dollars. It is it's you pay for it in application. You pay for it in application. You apply it, and the more you apply it, the more you're able to recognize using it. When, where, how, who, and what. A person that will stand for nothing falls for anything. And that's what we have on YouTube. We have a lot of people that also have no real power within their own life and circumstances. So they come on YouTube to exercise a power that they don't have. And everybody runs scared. Everybody runs scared of them because I don't want to be hurt. Listen. YouTube is just part of my, or should I say, is one of my guilty pleasures, if you will. Now, again, I had no intention of starting a channel when I started a channel. I really did not. I enjoyed, as a matter of fact, for a long time, I didn't even comment in Tracy's chat and Brother Jay's chat, but I was subscribed. But I just didn't say anything. But the more I watched, the more I wanted to say. And I'll never forget when Jay Wilson said, you know, a lot of you, not that I didn't do no paragraphs, I would say one or two lines and that was it. But he said, everybody has something to say. But if you are going to write a paragraph, you might as well get your own channel. Start your own platform. This way you can talk rather than doing all that typing, because I'm not a typist. I'm not a typist. Beloveds, you know, now give me a piano, I can get around it. But when it comes to typing, and a lot of people know, I don't know if Food Junkie is still here, but Food Junkie know that if it doesn't come up on the screen right, I will retract it and rewrite it again to make sure that what I'm saying is understood. So the same thing in my lives and in my videos, I want to make it understood. And even more than that, I want to bless people with information so that those who are like soil and accept the seed and let it grow, we grow to better people. I said this before. YouTube is a powerful tube. Every creator, every content creator has a powerful tool at their discretion. How do you want to look to the rest of the world? Do you want to look like a raving maniac? Do you want to look like a tool being used to tear other people down? Because again, what you do to and for others, you do to and for yourself. You cannot plant peas and expect to get an apple tree or roses. You're not going to get roses from peas. And the sad thing that people disassociate is the abundance of the seed that you plant. When it comes back, it does not come back one. It always comes back multiplied. Always comes back multiplied. It may not be your day yet to get yours. And see, the thing about that is, it's not somebody else that's going to get you. It is the universe that is going to get you for the stuff that you do. And you can fight me all you want to. But when the universe returns what you've put out, you are not going to be able to cuss nobody out. You ain't going to be able to threaten nobody out. You're going to have to take it. You're going to have to swallow it. As hard as it is to swallow, even if you have to choke it down, you're going to have to deal with it. I can say a prayer for you. I can ask God to have mercy. However, believe me, there's not going to be that much mercy that's going to be granted. Because this is what you sowed. So this is what you have to reap. And I had no intentions of going in that route on this live. Because again, I'm only experimenting with this live because my lives have been acting really crazy. However, I'm not apologizing for it. Because I know that deep inside of me, what I'm talking about, somebody needs, because somebody's on the verge of giving up. Somebody has been hurt that has not verbalized it, that may not even be involved in the beef. Somebody has been discouraged that looked up to these individuals, right on the verge of giving up. It's not worth it. However, let me encourage you. Let me encourage you. Let me encourage you. You're all right. And you're going to be all right. You're going to get through it. And again, if you do not have unreal expectations of people, you don't put yourself in the position to be hurt or disappointed. Disappointment only comes from having unreal expectations. When you expect a person to be a certain way and to do certain things that they are themselves incapable. Can I say that word again? Can the church say incapable? Incapable of living up to. You will be disappointed. But if you don't have unreal expectation and your mentality is, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not looking at it from a standpoint of judgment, but it is what it is. And whether I say it's right or whether I say it's wrong, it does not change the fact that it is what it is. So when I look at it like that, I'm able to divorce my feelings. I'm able to divorce my feelings from the situation and let things play out without being emotionally attached. Now, somebody in the back is going to get that. Somebody in the back, that just blessed somebody. So stop having these unreal expectations of people. Stop having them. Stop getting yourself all expecting this person to be this way all the time, because people will fail you in your expectations of them, because 90% of people cannot live up to the facade that they put out. They can't continue it. It's like a lie. If it is not real, if it's not authentic, if it's not the truth, it is a lie. It is a falsehood. So what happens is we get so engulfed and so enamored and emotionally attached to that thing, so that when they disappoint us, it breaks us. It breaks us. Stop allowing yourself to be broken by people outside of you. Stop getting emotionally involved with folks that don't care about you. And y'all ain't saying nothing. Stop it. Stop it. Get the tools. Get the tools and do the work. And it's not being cold to anybody. But I was always taught self-preservation should always be first. I have to preserve me. I have to preserve me. And if you want to say that's selfish, then okay, say that. But you need to know what the meaning of selfish is, because that word has been so misconstrued. It has been so misused. And I'm going to say this, and I hope this blesses somebody in here. Selfish is this. If you don't get it for yourself, you cannot give it to anybody else. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So selfish is positive. I have to take time for self. I have to rebuild self. So, yes, I have to be selfish because if I don't take care of me, I can't give anything out to bless or to help anybody else. Now, the problem comes in when we are self absorbed and it is all about yourself. It's all about me. In beaches, and this has always stuck with me. Whenever I watch movies, I always like to get the nuggets that most people don't catch. Bette Midler's character, at one point of the movie, when she had just finished this successful show that she was doing on Broadway. And she met people, the people that were, in her group. She met her friends. She met them, and she was talking about all the things that, the show, what she did in the show, and how great she was. And then she stopped and said, enough about me. What do you think about me? That's a person that's self-absorbed. It's all about that individual. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't care what you think about you. What do you think about me? And if it's not flattering, then they go off on you. So that's when it becomes dangerous. But being selfish, there is nothing negative about being selfish. Nothing. Exactly. Why bother? If you can't love yourself, believe me, if you do not love you, you cannot love anybody else. And this is the reason for a whole lot of domestic abuse, a whole lot of self abuse. Because I know, yeah, people talk about domestic abuse and child abuse. However, they don't talk about self abuse and how people abuse themselves. And if I abuse myself, I am going to abuse people outside of me, whether in word or deed. And we used to have this saying when I was a kid: sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. I'm going to say something here that maybe some people are going to be offended by. However, if you get offended by it, please do me a favor. Think about it. Let it marinate and do some reflection, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me is a lie straight from the pit of hell. It is a lie straight from the pit of hell. People have said things to me that have hurt me in the past. They have words, and see, the thing about words is that word that hurts your feelings is a word that you continue to hear in your ears. So after the sticks and stones have broken your bones and those bones have healed, those words linger on. And y'all ain't saying nothing, but well, the choir is not here. Otherwise, I would have, amen in the choir stand. But those words linger on. And whenever you hear that word, whenever you hear the name that someone's called you that hurts you, when you hear it, even from total strangers to total strangers, you quickly emotionally react because it brings back those very feelings. So when people say words don't hurt, they're delusional or delusion. They're delusional because words hurt longer and deeper than any stick or stone could ever do. Just like a song, you're right, why bother? Those words linger just like a song. Just like a song. And those feelings, it brings back those feelings. So what happens is you wind up reliving the whole entire situation. Even if you don't remember Even if you don't remember, because sometimes, especially as children coming up, there are things that were said to us that we may not ever remember the exact circumstances that it happened, but that word that was said to us still affects us unless we work through the craziness. We have to get the tools, people. We have to get the tools. Because to tell you to do the work, to tell you to do the work, and not give you the tools, or not share the tools with you, or with telling you to do the work without the tools is worthless. It's worthless. It is totally worthless. It is worthless. How can you dig a hole if you don't have the shovel? It makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, we can improvise and do it like dogs do it, but why make it harder on yourself? Get the tools and let's do the work. Let's do the work on ourselves and stop trying to do the work on other people, and we still need work on the inside of ourselves. It it astounds me how people can tell you what you need to do for you, and they don't do it for themselves. And they are in front of you an open book. They are an open book. You see everything, but they can stand up and tell you, you need to do this and you need to do that. You need to. If each of us would identify where we need and what we need to work on and begin to work on those with the proper tools, I believe, I really believe that this sector of YouTube will be a much better place. It will be a much more peaceful place, a place of authentic camaraderie. Now, y'all know I don't be staying on no lives this long, but I am still grateful. I am so grateful. And I'm grateful for all of you that came in to this chat today. I am grateful. Believe me, all the content creators that are in here, I appreciate you. Texacoco, I didn't see you earlier. Please forgive me. Texacoco, good afternoon. Scoops of Plenty, good afternoon. Cynthia Jones, Doreen Bronx. You know you're my girl, Doreen Bronx. Just Net, how are you? I appreciate you all coming in. I'm going to get this down pat, y'all. I'm going to get it down pat. I'm going to get this live down, doing this live. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Lamone Mazik, thank you. Good afternoon to you. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you all so much. Tracy, living my truth. You know how I feel about you. Thank you. And why I feel that way? Because I am Tracy's Pieces. Tracy's Pieces. Tracy's Pieces. I heard in someone's live that people are calling it Tracy's feces. Well, let me set the record straight for all of you that may be feeling that way. Darling, it's the best feces that you ever wanted to be involved with. Okay. Oh, all right. You ain't never seen feces like this, if you want to go there. But like I said, I appreciate all of you that, Tessie Clements, good afternoon. How are you? Sincerely yours. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. And like I said, to all the content creators that thought it not robbery to come in and join this live, I appreciate it. Again, you guys motivate me and you encourage me not to be anyone else but me. You know, in the beginning, I sort of felt like maybe I need to be this kind of way or that kind of way. However, everybody has made me feel very comfortable in being me. And whether I'm going to be crazy, whether I'm going to be funny, because I can be a comedian. I consider myself a part-time comedian. However, but the vibe, I think that has, or the spirit that has taken over, has been, for me, more of, I think, something that I've tried to get away from. Let me say this to you all. In my existence, I have pastored churches. Okay, so let me put that out. All right, I have pastored churches in my experience and in my development, and wanted to basically get away from the proverbial pastoral personality, if you will. However, this is what I want to say to you all. When you are something, when you walk into your calling, when you are walking in your calling, it is something that you cannot put off and put on when you want to. In conversation, it comes out. Even in being in the grocery store, it comes out. People hear it, they feel it, and they react to it. Okay? What am I saying? If you are a nasty individual, regardless how you try to hide it, it's going to come through. If you are a loving, sharing, caring individual, it is going to automatically come out. Regardless how you try to suppress it, how you try to hide it, how you try to deviate from it, it is going to show itself in your dealings with other people. What are you saying? Bottom line is, end game is, be who you are. Be who you are. But before you can be who you are, let me share this with you. I don't know how many people saw the Pride Challenge. I felt compelled to participate in the Pride Challenge because I had something to say. And the very thing that I really wanted to iterate and reiterate in the Pride Challenge is this, especially for the part that talked about being yourself. It is so important, so very, very important that you give yourself permission. I'm going to say it again. It is important that you give yourself permission to be who you are, to be what you are. Because only when you give yourself permission can you actually be who you are. Let me say that again. Only when you give yourself, and if you don't believe me, if you do not believe me, try it and see how that works. So often we are so caught up in what mama thinks we ought to be, what daddy thinks we ought to be, what siblings thinks we ought to be, what other family members and close friends think we ought to be, even employers, who they think we ought to be, rather than giving ourselves permission to be who we are. Now, when you give yourself permission to be you, when you give yourself permission to be, the frustrations of trying to keep up with someone else's opinion of you totally dissipate. It totally dissipates. The weight that you carry on your shoulders trying to be somebody else for someone else, it leaves. It's like that's what real deliverance is. Let me say that again for the ones all the way in the back. That's what real deliverance is. It is giving yourself permission to be you. And all the other craziness, I'm telling you from experience, all that craziness will drop off like weights. It will drop off. And your life becomes that much better, that much more peaceful. And when people say things about you, you look at them and smile and you say manipulate and control. Oh, I heard y'all. People love to manipulate and control people because they are out of control with their own lives. You will find out that most of the people that are on YouTube hollering and carrying it on, trying to control other people, their own lives are out of control. They have no control. They have lost control, or they never had control at all of their own lives. So it is so much easier to try to get satisfaction out of controlling someone else's life or fulfillment out of controlling somebody else's life than controlling your own, especially when your life is totally screwed up. Totally screwed up. So again, I've been on here an hour and I don't be on no, but you know what? I'm not apologizing for it. I'm enjoying the company. I'm enjoying the comments. I really, 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 wow. Wow. I appreciate everyone that has come in and the interaction. Again, the positive interaction that is going on in this chat right now is a beautiful thing to me. It's very beautiful to me because it does not happen. It does, well, on a lot of lives, it does not happen. And I'm going to tell you something. When you lay the ground rules and create an atmosphere on your channel, I get you only, only being great, no problem. I make sure I do that for you before I close out the chat. That really turned me out right then. You got me on that one. I mean, you really took my train of thought seeing that. When you create the atmosphere for your channel, please understand that no one can come in when it's created out of authenticity. No one can come in and feel comfortable. No one can come into your chat and feel comfortable being divisive. And no one has to fight with them. No one has to say anything to them. This is why it is so important to own your channel and run your own channel. Set your atmosphere. You set the atmosphere. It's just like in your home. In your home, there is an atmosphere. And anyone that comes in to your home, no, it's not just the tone. It's not just the tone. It is an atmosphere which is all consuming. And when someone comes and see, because a tone can be changed, a tone can be changed. But when you set the atmosphere, it is very difficult for someone to come in contrary to your atmosphere and not be affected and fall under or fall in line with the atmosphere. You control the atmosphere every place you go. If there is chaos in the atmosphere before you get there, if you are in tune with you and if your spirit is right, you can walk in and change the entire atmosphere of a crowded room that is in chaos. So if someone comes into your channel and disrupts the flow, it is because, and I know I could get a backlash for this, but that's okay. If they can come in and change the flow, that means that you have relinquished the control to someone else. And who allows a person to come into their house where they pays a mortgage or they pay a rent and change the total atmosphere of their house with no consequences? Let's see, I don't see any answers as to who does that. But however, that's the way it works. You control the atmosphere. And you should all good teaching. And before I take it back, I'll add more to it. Hello. I got one amen, up two amens. Yes. EBB Ashando, EBB Ashanama. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. Yeah, like I said, it's important that you run yours and that you control the atmosphere. And I guarantee you, when you and if you, it's not difficult to do. It is not difficult to do. And I'm gonna tell you something else. As you begin to practice it, it'll become more natural to you and it'll become very easy to do. And let me say this before somebody gets the wrong impression. It's not witchcraft either. It is not witchcraft. I'm so sick of people talking about witchcraft that they don't even know what witchcraft is. It is ridiculous. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. It's ridiculous. Now, I want to put this out because I want everybody to understand, and I know I should have done this in the beginning of creating my channel and all this kind of stuff. This channel is a place. It's a place of peace and information, not to change anybody's mind, but is to offer a different perspective in order to broaden the mind, okay? To broaden the mind, to give you a different perspective. All right? It is not to disrespect anyone. It is not for fighting. We all like a good fight every now and then, but it is not that is not the purpose of this channel. And I will say this: if I only reach one person and make a difference in their life, my living has not been in vain. Hello, somebody. My living will not be in vain. My life would have purpose, even if I just affect one life for the positive. All right? All right. Not only that, Texacoco, not only are they being spooky, but what a lot of people do with that is it is to manipulate and control. Manipulate and control out of fear. And you will, the next time you hear it again, you're going to laugh. Even though some people do it as a joke, they throw it out there for people to react in a way where they are now able to control and manipulate people with those kind of thoughts. Again, I thank all of you for coming in today And again, to all of the to all the concrete creators, no, to all the content creators that show me love, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate it. And again, I appreciate it to all the subscribers, the new subscribers, the day ones, all of you. I am honored that you come and say hello, that you have come and joined this live today. I appreciate you all. Now, there was a request because I'm getting ready to close this out. So, only being great asked me to sing something on the way out. Let's see. Let's see. Well, Lady Beth Shua, I appreciate that I was able to bless you. I really am happy that I am able to bless you. I'm so happy that you have been blessed. And again, thank you for coming. And and see, just like a preacher, when I'm getting ready to close, somebody will say something that will evoke another thought. When you are blessed, or when someone is giving you of themselves and sharing with you, it's not a blessing if you don't receive it. And I thank you, Lady Bathshua, for expressing to me that you have received something that I have said and it has blessed you. Now, I cannot bless anyone without blessing myself. Everything that I say is a blessing to me. Okay? That's how I'm able to share it, because it has been a blessing to me. It has opened up doors for me. It has helped me through different stages of my life. So it has been a blessing. And so it being a blessing to me makes it easy for me to bless other people. And the thing about doing that is it becomes residual. It becomes residual. It becomes the more I bless people, the more I'm blessed. The more I'm blessed, the more I'm able to bless people. Okay? So remember, there is nothing that you can do for anyone that doesn't bless you in return. And in the blessing you in return, it causes you a motivation to be even more of a blessing to other people. So it really is, it's like the figure eight, never ending, and it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. 6 of 7, good afternoon. Thank you for coming into the chat. It is a continual thing. So I want to encourage everybody, be a blessing. Because I'm telling you, you be a blessing, you'll see just how you will be blessed. Yes, I encourage you to be selfish. I do encourage you to be selfish, because unless you get something for yourself, you're never able to give anything out. An empty pitcher will never pour water. Ooh, I like that myself. An empty pitcher will never pour water. You have to fill the pitcher up in order to pour it out. Okay? Okay. I appreciate you all. And I'm still trying to think of a song to sing for, the request that was made. Only being great. Wow. Let me see. Here's one. I'm just going to do a little bit of this song. It's going to be a gospel. I don't always sing gospel, but I do some of everything. But he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide in his grace. And he that walketh through the valley of death shall in no wise be entangled. By God's hands he shall be kept. For if I go into the heavens, God knows. If I go into the deepest depth, he knows. For no matter what may come my way, I am covered by his blood. Even when Satan seems to rage, from his hand I'm hid and safe. Here's the important part. I'm in his safety, dwell in his safety, the safety of the Lord. Oh, nothing can stop me, nor can you block me. I'm in the safety of the Lord. He is the captain, I'm feeling this thing, of my soul. He is the fortress from home. When the storms of life began to rage in my life, I run into his arms, 'cause I'm in his safety. Oh, I'm in his safety. The safety of the Lord. Oh, I'm in the safety of the Lord. Thank you all for coming in. And that was for Only Being Great. Okay? You all enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your evening. And we shall talk again. Much love to you all.